What if I could show you 4.6 billion years of Earth's history in just 10 minutes? From a ball of fire and lava to the rise of dinosaurs, their mysterious extinction, the birth of humanity, and ancient civilizations that still puzzle us today. This is the most epic journey through time you'll ever witness. Let's begin. 4.6 billion years ago, Earth was nothing like today. It was a boiling ball of fire, volcanoes erupting everywhere, rivers of lava flowing, and the sky covered in smoke and ash. No rain, no oceans, no trees, no animals, just fire, smoke, and storms. For millions of years, relentless rain cooled this burning planet. The rain lasted so long that vast oceans formed. But even then, the atmosphere wasn't breathable, filled with carbon dioxide, methane, and toxic gases. Oxygen was almost non-existent. Then a miracle happened in these oceans. The seeds of life were born. Tiny microorganisms began floating in the water. Some, like cyanobacteria, slowly started releasing oxygen into the atmosphere. This was the change that transformed Earth's face. Oxygen increased, life became complex, plants grew, vast forests formed, and the atmosphere became livable. After millions of years, Earth was ready to welcome those massive creatures we know today as dinosaurs. About 230 million years ago, during the Triassic period, the first dinosaurs appeared. Initially very small, some the size of foxes. They could run fast and hunt. Slowly, over millions of years, nature molded them in size, strength, and diversity. As time passed, the dinosaur world expanded. From forests to plains, lakes to mountains, their empire spread everywhere. They became Earth's most powerful creatures, just like humans dominate today. The Jurassic period brought the Age of Giants. Brachiosaurus, 85 feet long, weighing over 40 tons, a walking fortress. Then came Titanosaurus, so massive that if it lay in a field, an entire football field would be covered beneath it. But every golden age must end. 66 million years ago, a cosmic visitor headed toward Earth, a massive asteroid, 10 to 15 kilometers wide, traveling at 70,000 kilometers per hour. A bright flash, a terrible explosion. It struck Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. In one instant, everything for thousands of kilometers burned to ash. The Earth trembled, tsunami waves rose thousands of feet high. Forests, mountains, rivers, all went wild. Millions of dinosaurs, Earth's rulers, became helpless on this burning planet. This was the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction, history's most terrifying mass extinction. The dinosaurs who ruled for millions of years finally lost to a small stone from the cosmos.
Without giant predators, the stage was empty. This is where the Age of Mammals began. Small creatures, like mice, active at night, warm-blooded, now came into the open. The environment changed, temperature normalized, and greenery spread across Earth again. Some climbed trees, some ran on the ground. Deep in African forests appeared primates, ancestors of monkeys, gorillas, and humans. About 25 million years ago in Africa, monsoons changed, mountains rose, and the climate cooled. Dense forests shrank and open plains expanded. This forced some primates to descend to the plains. Tree-dwelling creatures now stood upright and walked on two legs, bipedalism, the first step toward humanity. About 300,000 years ago in East Africa, an extraordinary species was born, Homo sapiens. But they weren't alone. Earth had several human-like species, Homo erectus, who could stand upright, Homo habilis, who made basic tools. But one thing set Homo sapiens apart: their brain, larger, faster at thinking, understanding, and imagining. Their bodies were built for hunting. They could run fast, hold weapons, and endure heat. But they had no permanent homes, living in forests, hiding in caves, searching for food all day, huddling near fire at night to escape the cold. About 70,000 years ago, a revolution happened in our ancestors' minds. Scientists call it the cognitive revolution, an explosion of thinking power.
Now, humans could not only understand visible things, but also imagine what wasn't there. They could think about the future, create memories, and most importantly, explain their thoughts to others. This is where language was born. When one human saw a lion in the jungle, they could now tell others in clear words, "There's a lion behind that bush, just left, don't go alone." Language wasn't just for sharing information, it was for sharing emotions, fear, love, anger, dreams. Then humans began crafting not just information, but stories. A spirit lives on the moon. Our ancestors were born from fire. If we cut this tree, rain will stop. These weren't lies, they were imaginations. And imagination was the power that helped humans build societies, create rules, and ultimately lay the foundation of civilization. About 60,000 years ago, Homo sapiens began leaving East Africa. Perhaps the weather was changing, prey was decreasing, or maybe a question awakened within humans: what else is in this world? They first reached the Middle East, then slowly Asia, Europe, and Australia. But this journey wasn't empty fields. Everywhere, other human species already existed, like Neanderthals living in Europe and Denisovans found in Asia.
But one thing was clear: Homo sapiens weren't just strong, they were organized, clever, and fast thinkers. They made plans together, lit fires in new territories, and settled places where no one could survive before.
About 20,000 years ago, Earth took a terrifying form. Temperature dropped rapidly. Ocean water turned to ice, and a white blanket spread across the entire Earth. We call this the last ice age. Europe, Asia, and large parts of North America were covered with thick layers of ice. Sea levels dropped about 120 meters. Many places that are now underwater were then walkable for humans. Humans survived in small groups in caves, hunting animals, searching for roots and fruits, fighting every day hoping to see the next morning. Thousands of years after this icy imprisonment, Earth turned over. About 11,000 years ago, the sun's warmth grew stronger. The ice that had been frozen for centuries began melting. Mountain peaks, once covered in white sheets, now showed the soil beneath. Water from glaciers flowed down, creating rivers, lakes, and new paths for life. Humans, who once chased prey through ice, now asked a question for the first time: can I stay still? Because now before them was greenery, water, and weather that wasn't as cruel as before. And here a revolution was born, the agricultural revolution. When humans felt the weather stabilizing, rivers flowing consistently, and trees bearing fruit every year, a new idea was born within them. Can I grow my own food? The day humans buried seeds in soil and waited for the first time, the day the first grain plant emerged from Earth, was the biggest turning point in human history. This began the Neolithic Age. Humans were no longer wandering hunters, they had become farmers. As humans progressed into the copper and farming age, they experienced something deeper. Water is life. They knew that where rivers flow, land is fertile, crops flourish, and life can be built. With this thinking, humans established their first great settlements. This gave birth to ancient river valley civilizations. First, Mesopotamia, the land between two rivers. In today's Iraq, between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, stretched a land the Greeks called Mesopotamia, meaning land between two rivers. Here emerged the first urban civilizations, Ur, Uruk, and Babylon. People here built houses from mud bricks, constructed tall temples called ziggurats. Here the first writing system developed, cuneiform script. With it they recorded trade, stories of gods, and even laws. The Code of Hammurabi, the world's first written law, was created on this very land. Second, the Indus Valley civilization, advanced but silent. Thousands of kilometers away, in the western parts of India and Pakistan, the Indus River flowed.
Along its banks settled the world's most mysterious and well-planned civilization, the Indus Valley civilization. People here were remarkable craftsmen and urban planners. Cities like Harappa and Mohenjo-daro had straight-cut roads, brick houses, wells and bathhouses in homes, and even underground drainage systems that still amaze the world today. But the surprising thing is we found no king, no war, no pile of weapons here. It seems this was a peaceful world of trade and craftsmanship that was far ahead of its time. When small villages transformed into large cities and people's work increased, humans felt they needed leadership, someone to tell who would work in fields, who would handle trade, who would build temples, and who would provide protection. This began the construction of social structure. Society was no longer where all equal. Instead, classes formed based on work. Farmers who grew grain, craftsmen who made tools and pots, merchants who delivered goods far and wide, soldiers who provided security, and at the top, kings and priests who made rules and claimed to communicate with God. The king was now not just powerful, but considered God's representative. His throne wasn't merely a chair, it was the center of order.
And so, in just 10 minutes, we traveled through 4.6 billion years, from a ball of fire to the birth of civilizations. Earth's story is humanity's story. From cosmic dust to conscious beings who now look back and wonder, how did we get here? If you enjoyed this incredible journey through time, subscribe to the channel for more research-based documentaries. What topics should we explore next? Let me know in the comments.